Hey truckers, it's October 2024 as I'm making this video, and those winter months are coming. Those cold, icy temperatures are on their way. Donner Pass in California has already seen their first snow. I'm just wondering if you are prepared to crash. Here we go. Every winter, I tend to stay up in the northern latitudes. Interstate 80 mostly, but I get up into Montana, Idaho, all those snowy areas. And primarily on Interstate 80, I see a whole lot of mess out there. Trucks turned over on their sides, upside down, people out there stranded, and just in a world of hurt. It doesn't have to be like that, but it is. And this video isn't about how to go sledding through the snow in a truck. It's more about whether or not you are prepared to crash and survive it. A lot of times you'll sneak past that road closure. They'll close the road behind you. They'll close the road in front of you. No one's coming behind you. No one's on their way toward you. Did you luck out and get on the road before they closed it? You might consider yourself lucky, but consider this. If they close that road behind you, and they close that road in front of you, and no one is coming, what happens if you crash? What happens if you step on the ice and you slid out and you can't pull out of it? You may have to get out of that truck, friends. Are you ready for that? At the very least, you need to be able to get yourself out of that truck, out of that seatbelt. Maybe smash a window, maybe smash your windshield out, and still stay warm and dry. You crash out there between two road closures, and no one is coming. No one is coming. No one is coming. No one knows that you crashed. Those snowplow guys are great, but they're only doing maybe 15 or 20 miles an hour because they're trying to move snow and open the road. If you're 2 hours ahead of them, you could be out there by yourself and no one knows you're there. Maybe they can't even get to you if they do know you're there. Listen, at the very least, you need to be able to get yourself out of that truck and address any kind of medical emergencies that you have. You need to be able to splint a broken arm or a broken leg. You need to be able to stop the bleeding. That's first and foremost in any situation. You've got to be able to stop the bleeding. Whether that's a tourniquet or stitches or some sort of vitamin K powder or synthetic bleed stop powder, stop the bleeding. After that, you need to be able to stay warm and dry. Dry clothing, waterproof clothing like rain gear, and fire. If you've got fire in a real survival type situation, then you have pretty much solved the vast majority of your immediate needs. I would recommend carrying emergency trauma or at least first aid kit, a very stout, heavy-duty fixed blade knife on your belt, and warm and dry clothing. Also, consider maybe carrying a fire log with you, one of those little synthetic Duraflame logs. And all of that stuff needs to be in a backpack, seat belted into your driver's seat so that you can get to it. Listen, if you turn that truck upside down and shake it, nothing is going to be where you put it. Nothing's going to be on your dash. Nothing's going to be on your floorboard. Nothing's going to be where you put it in the bunk. All of your gear needs to be seat belted into that dog seat so that you can cut it out of there and get out of that truck immediately. I can't stress this enough, guys. If you crash this winter and nobody knows you're out there because the road is closed, no one is coming to help you. And what if you don't have a cell phone because it went tumbling all around your truck like a ping pong ball in a pickle jar? You may not even have a phone. You need to be able to take care of yourself for a few hours in a blizzard. I would highly recommend some sort of emergency shelter, some sort of emergency dependable fire, and warm winter waterproof clothing. I see it every year on Interstate 80. I see it every year on Interstate 94 up north. Guys wrecked in the snow. A couple years ago, I saw a guy out there. He was a flatbedder. He was out there in a t-shirt and shorts, flip-flops, if I'm not mistaken. And so, of course, I stopped and helped him out. He had nothing, man. He had nothing. And the roads were closed. You guys be safe out there. Get ready for this winter, because it's probably going to be a bad one. We'll see you out there. Hold up. Let me just say this one last thing, and then I'm going to cut this thing out. If you're pedaling down the road this winter and you see somebody who's wrecked, whether it's a car or a truck or whatever, if you don't see emergency personnel there already, guys, stop. Stop and offer some help. There could be somebody in that truck. There could be somebody in that car, unconscious, dead, freezing cold, whatever. Stop and help them out, man. I see that crap every freaking year too. I understand you guys are getting paid by the mile, by the load, whatever, and you got to keep going down the road. You know what? You were a human being before you were a truck driver. If emergency personnel is not already on the scene, stop and help them out. At least give them a place to sit with the heater on. Last year, I saw a guy standing out by his truck like this. He was pacing around, had a cell phone on his ear. I still stopped. I don't even know if that guy has cell signal. Maybe he's just begging for one bar so he can get through to 911. Now, as luck would have it, he was able to get through and he was talking to emergency crews at the moment. But I didn't know that. Guys, stop and help each other out. This is ridiculous. We don't just drive by wrecks unless we see the cops or paramedics or chopper or something like that already on the scene. That's all I got to say about that.